Magic in the Enchanted Forest. Raia and Lorenzo were playing in their backyard one sunny afternoon when suddenly a strange mist appeared from out of nowhere and started to swirl all around them. Lorenzo grabbed his little sister's hand tightly so they didn't get separated as the mist grew thicker and thicker until they could barely see in front of them. When the mist finally started to clear, they realized to their amazement that they were no longer in their own backyard, but instead found themselves standing in a breathtaking forest, full of the most beautiful trees they had ever seen, glowing with little floating balls of light as Raia and Lorenzo took in their new strange surroundings. With wide eyes full of wonder, they heard a small rustling noise coming from some nearby bushes. Slowly, a tiny fairy with glowing transparent wings and a dress made of petals floated out. While chatting away on her tiny cell phone, the fairy stopped mid-conversation when she noticed the two unfamiliar children standing there, her eyes growing big as saucers in surprise. She quickly ended her call and flew straight over to them, her eyes full of questions, as she wondered how these children came to be in her magical forest realm. The fairy introduced herself as Flora and explained that they must have stumbled into the enchanted forest by accident through some sort of magical portal. Flora wasn't sure how to get them back to the human world, but said she would ask the wise elder tree for help, since he knew all about the different magics of the forest, until they could find a way home. Flora invited Raia and Lorenzo to come explore the wonders of the magical forest with her and meet all the other strange fantastical creatures that called it their home. Flora gave the two children a tour of the glowing mushroom gardens, where little gnome gardeners were busy tending to glowing mushroom that came in every color of the rainbow. The gardeners waved their rakes and smiled at the visitors, but were too short to talk to. In the distance, music could be heard, and lights glittered among the trees, which made Flora explain that was where the fairy circus was practicing. The fairies flew acrobatic tricks and told jokes whilst riding miniature pony-sized snails. When the tour arrived at the circus, Raia and Lorenzo watched in amazement as the fairies soared through the air, performing dazzling feats without wings. Two fairies were juggling balls of light while standing on a spinning platform. Another balanced on a rolling log that glided along an invisible river, snaking between the trees. The circus master fairy announced to the audience that after the show, they could meet the performers and try some of the activities themselves if they wanted. By this point, Raia and Lorenzo had forgotten all about going home and just wanted to have magical adventures in the enchanted forest forevermore. After the circus show ended, Flora took Raia and Lorenzo to meet the elder tree that she had told them about earlier. The elder tree was the oldest and largest tree in the forest, with a thick, gnarly trunk and twisting branches that seemed to reach up into the starry night sky. His bark was covered in strange glowing runes, and when the children approached him, his giant knotted eyes opened slowly as if waking from a deep sleep. In a deep rumbling voice, the elder tree greeted the children, and Flora then asked for his advice on how to return the human children safely to their own world. The elder tree thought for a moment as the children held their breath, wondering if this was really where their magical adventure would have to end.